I'm very happy to have another happy face, a young Indian with us today. Um, right now, we have with us Rashi Diwan. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Rashi.
Thank you, sir. First of all, so much for having me here. This Vidped thing is like a great initiative that you have taken. I myself have been like fangirling over this channel since last couple months, and it feels really great to be a part of this platform now and come here and speak. So like a little intro. Hello, everyone. I am Rashi. I am a second year undergraduate student of economics at Kalindi College, University of Delhi. And I would like to take this opportunity to talk a little about myself, my journey so far, which in retrospective is a little small compared to others because I haven't even completed my graduation yet. But I would like to talk about my like a little about my school life, how and why I chose economics, and where I stand right now, and about my future, which seems a little hazy because I am in that mid undergraduate crisis. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in future. So yeah, beginning with why I chose economics. In my family, for a little background, everyone is an engineer. So after 10th, everyone takes science, then does engineering, and then does MBA. And that is more or less the trajectory everyone has in my family. And when I was done with my 10th, that is what was expected of me as well. But honestly, I was not interested in science. And humanities, to be honest, bored me a little because it was too much theory. So I decided to go ahead with commerce with mathematics in my plus two, majorly because the subjects in commerce are such that they have not been taught to us before 10th. So accountancy, even economics, the kind of economics that we study in 11th and 12th is very different from what we study in 9th and 10th. And even business studies and all that is not something that we are taught in school before 11th and 12th. So these subjects somewhat intrigued me, and I wanted to know why we are not taught them before, and like what is so special about them that they're kept a secret before 11th. So and again, science did not interest me. When I was a kid, I had wanted to be an astronaut. But when I looked into it, I realized that that's actually a lot of work, and I'm too lazy to do all that mathematics and give all those exams and do all that training. So after a lot of convincing, it took a lot of convincing for my parents to agree to this. But I ended up taking commerce with mathematics. And I think I do not regret that decision because it like widened my perspective in a way about how real world actually works, which I believe would not have happened if I had taken science. And yes, economics again intrigued me since the beginning because I loved all those graphs and the lines and the different kind of laws, and how the subject in short encapsulates the whole world, and all the kind of interaction that goes from the smallest of producer and buyer to like how biggest of economies work. And which is why again I decided to go ahead with economics honors. And however, I believe that like although I do not regret my decisions, when I was in 10th and when I was deciding for something in 12th, if I had a little more guidance, which unfortunately wasn't there in my family because there was no one from this field, maybe I could have made better decisions, especially when it came to like universities and colleges. Because after boards, I gave entrance of almost every university in India, be it private universities or public universities. And in the end, I chose Delhi University. But I think if I had a little more guidance on how to go about it, maybe I could have ended up in a better place for my undergrad. But here I am. I got into Kalindi College, University of Delhi, and since then it has been a great roller coaster. And yeah, that's pretty much why and how I am in economics. And since I joined college, I have like apart from my academics, I have been part of multiple societies. In first year, I joined almost not almost but a lot of societies, and in second year I had taken position of responsibilities. So I'll just talk a little more about that.
Yeah, it's good.
Currently,
Yeah, go ahead. It's good to.
yes.
By the way, when you say you are not sure of your future, let me say 2 years ago, I was not sure of my future. What am I
It's
supposed to do at this old age?
yes, sir.
It's just as intriguing as at that young age. So what am I supposed to do now? Okay. Well, then I thought, okay, let me try something that I've never done before. And here we are with a video channel for the youth. All right,
True,
let's
sir.
go ahead to listen to your positions of authority or responsibility in your college.
Okay, so I'm currently heading Enactus Kalindi chapter of India, which is basically a social entrepreneurship society. So, what Enactus aims to do is use businesses and entrepreneurship as a catalyst for sustainable and social change. So, a little about Enactus. It has presence in multiple countries, and in India as well, it has presence over a lot of universities and colleges. So, in Kalindi chapter, we have three major projects. I'll just talk a little about them.
Yeah.
Um, One of the projects is aimed at upliftment of manual scavengers. So in India, technically manual scavenging is banned, but still, this practice persists, and in the minds of people that stigma against untouchability is still present. So the project is called Rehmat, and we try under this to basically get manual scavengers out of those toxic working situations, and also help them get alternative jobs, and different employment opportunities. So initially, in the initial years of this project, that is what like we had done. And currently we are working with widows of the manual scavengers, and we like try to upskill them, show them ways in which like they can make themselves financially independent. And I think it's one project in Enactus which is really close to my heart, because I have been working with these women since my first year, and I have seen the struggles that they have gone through. And one of the major learning that I believe that has come out of this is uh, like understanding and seeing firsthand, experiencing how all the policies that are made by the government have an impact on the grassroots. And because like these women actually suffer in two ways, or have like a twofold marginalization. First off, because of their caste, and second off, because of their position as a widowed. The way the society perceives these women is are like sadly not what you would expect from an India which has like which is developing at such a great pace. And I can say that like in last 2 years in which I have witnessed these like the working of this project, my interest in impact measurement and public policy has
Okay.
been like greatly influenced.
Mhm.
And so like that's one project that we work in. The second one is
Wait, just a
called.
second. Let me say thank you for doing it. Let me just say that, indeed,
Yes, sir.
it is a real issue, and we need the young people to do something about it. And thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
And like, I think one of the best things about this is we just like don't do charity work. We are actually upskilling these women. And when we do like leave them after some point, they are like self-sustained enough to, stand on their own feet and, earn their own living. So it's really fulfilling. And so like the second project is called Veran, wherein we try to like reduce fruits and vegetable wastage as much as possible. And so we basically our seniors, when they started this project, they divided fruits and vegetables into three kinds of categories. And one of those categories is the fruits that are not that visually appealing, but are of great quality. But consumers, since these are not as good looking as other fruits, like fresh fruits, the
Yeah.
consumer usually don't buy them. And at mandis specifically, like the thelewalas usually throw these products. And So what we try to do under this project is reduce that kind of wastage as much as possible. And we try to make jams and candies out of them. And again, we work with marginalized communities, especially the women community for this. And the third project is somewhat similar. It is aimed at reducing cloth wastage. So currently we are working with a community of rickshaw pullers, the wives of rickshaw pullers near our college. And we take clothes in donation drives, and then we go to those women and we teach them, upskill them in tailoring. We provide them workshops, and then we produce different kind of cloth, repurposed cloth materials like tote bags and scrunchies. And that is pretty much how Enactus works so far. And I think, again, it's one of the best things that has happened to me. Like leading a dynamic team and innovative students and innovative projects. It has been really great. It has taught me multiple things. I think it has changed me in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And I believe if I had to give one advice to anyone who is entering college right now, it would be to join a society. At least one society, and something like Enactus, of course, because like I'm utterly biased towards this. But yeah, so like that is one of the society and one of the position of responsibilities that I have right now. The second one is
Wait, you're now the president, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is your own aim in this as president? What do you take? How are you going to take it forward?
Like in Enactus specifically, one of my major aim is to expand our reach as much as possible. So, in Rehmat, for example, our community is a little, small right now. So we have a self-help group of around 5 or 6 women. Uh, Previously, we have worked with other manual scavenging communities as well, but I believe that we can upscale this a bit. So I have been working with my team on finding new communities for this. And in Viran, we were thinking, like, since we work with farming community, and in Delhi, it's a little difficult to find farmers because like this is a metropolitan area. So we have been trying to contact farmers which are a little, little close to where we are, but like farming community nonetheless. And basically, like empowering them in any way we can, and which also aligns with our sustainable goals. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe that as much as it is business, a entrepreneurial society, it's also a social entrepreneurial society. So like my major aim as a president so far has been to ensure that the impact is where it needs to go, and not just going on my resume as a position. And also, I think one good thing that I have done is, of course, with the help of my whole team, is that we organized the first fest of this society in our college. It was back in Feb beginning. And again, like it was a great experience, since it was something that had never been done before. um, it was a good learning experience. And again, it taught me multiple things about leadership and how to manage team dynamics and whatnot.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear it. It's really, I think, very important. Now I'm preaching. Okay? 1 minute.
Yes.
There's a limit to what governments can do. There is a limit. As you rightly said, there are policies and there are initiatives, but you find that there are enough people who are still suffering. There's no reason for them to have that situation. They can be improved, but you cannot expect the government, any government, I'm not criticizing politically, any government to do much more. So unless young people backed with their energy and their money and motivation step in and keep this going, we are not going to get to everybody being well off. It's just a simple message. And I'm really glad that you are doing it. Okay, enough of talk from me. Let's continue.
Okay. Secondly, I'm also serving as the section editor in the annual newsletter of our department. And like my section is loosely based on, again, how policies can be, formulated. So one of the articles that I have been working on is how data-driven decisions can be helpful in capacity building initiatives, and like mostly about how data influences opinions and decisions that are taken by policymakers as well as consumers. So that is loosely how my section is based upon. And yeah, that is pretty much it about my societies. But I don't think I lie when I tell that they take up a lot of my time. And this 1 year has taught me a lot when it comes to time management and prioritization, because as much as I would love giving my everything in these societies, there also needs to be a limit where I stop myself and say ki, no, I need to study as well, which
Yeah,
honestly I have not done in like last 1 year. And
right.
economics is a very demanding course, and if taken any like lightly, it's like it becomes very difficult to cope up with missing classes and lectures and all that. And I
Yeah.
think that is one of the biggest lessons that I have learned. And yeah, coming to internships, I have not done a lot of internships because I have been preoccupied with societies. But I think one of the highlight internships that I did recently was working at the office of a member of parliament in January. And that was a little more legislative in nature, which gave me a lot of insights, which were different from economics. It was a research internship, but again, it was since it was at the office of a member of parliament. Uh, it was not a lot of what you would expect from an internship, like as an economic student.
Yeah.
So since it was legislative, I worked on private members bill and analyzing some new laws that have come. And again, that was only strengthened my interest in impact measurement and basically policy formulation. And I think that was also like a little different from what I have been doing so far. So, like new tastes and experiences from everywhere, I try to gather and get as many insights. Because again, I don't know what I want to do in my future. One thing that I know is that I don't want to get into a corporate 9 to 5 job. I do not want to do an MBA. But what I want to do, if not an MBA and corporate job, is like that is the question. So,
Well,
yeah,
it's a good question to have. It's a very good question to have. And there's no need for an answer in the near future. It's okay. I think
yes.
college is meant to give you a chance to explore, and you are exploring. So that's it. Why bother? One day, somewhere along the line, something will happen and you will come to a decision. Wait for it.
Yes.
There's no need. People say that, look, everything should be planned, but then you become a prisoner of your plan. And your plan is based on yesterday's information. So what's the use of that plan? Because plans change, the
Very true.
economy changes, opportunities change. So I think you are in good shape. All right. So anything else you want to talk about?
Um, I just think I would like to speak a little on the Vidpeds because,
Sure.
as I
Okay.
have said before, I have been obsessed with them since last couple months,
Yeah.
and especially about my confusion on my future. I have watched a lot of them to like get a little insight on what like people do, especially in their masters, and I think that have proved like really helpful so far. Even though I'm like still confused, but it has given me a lot of insights. Should I do it from India? Should I do it from abroad? And should I be doing like a master's in a specific field or in general? So I had all these questions, and the Whitpeds have proven really, really helpful in that.
Okay. Well, that's very comforting to hear that. Let me just say that when I started this, I had no idea of what I'm doing. Okay. There's no plan, nothing, just a belief, as I told you, that we need to give young people a chance to talk. And then what comes out of it, let nature and let it happen organically. Don't plan it. Don't tell the young people what to do, how to do it. No, let them figure it out for themselves, how to talk, what to talk. So good. Any hobbies that you have, something that you enjoy when you are not trying to help others or study, anything that you enjoy?
I enjoy reading.
Yeah.
I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
So mostly it's fiction or research papers,
Mhm.
not self-help books, because
Yeah.
that is something I
You
find
don't
utterly
need that.
boring.
You surely
Um,
you could write a couple of self-help groups books. You don't need that. So what's the fiction? What's the fiction?
Mostly mythology.
Uh,
I'm greatly interested in Indian mythology. So authors like Amish, Ashwin Sanghi, and Devdutt Patnaik.
mhm.
And other than that, anything and everything
Okay.
that interests me. Like when it comes to economic specific, I like reading things about again Indian policy, impact measurement, and also a little about behavioral economics. So that is something that recently caught my interest, and I'm trying to explore that. Other than that, it's just normal. I think listening to music and reading books and this and that and collecting small items. That is
You,
one
do,
thing
you,
that I really like.
do you ever listen to old Hindi songs?
Yeah, every now and then.
No, then okay.
Yeah.
Anything that you remember from my times?
I think I don't know if that is from your times, but I really like the whole album from this movie called Padosan.
Ah,
So yeah, so I
that's
like
very much from my times. That is certainly, I guess I was your age at that time when it came
oh
out.
wow.
Good. That was,
So
it was indeed quite a big change. We had never seen anything like it before, right? And uh, even they say when they recorded the song, the famous Padosan song, Kishore Kumar was not willing to be told what to do. He just sang. I couldn't stop him. Anyway, good that sometimes you do listen. All right, anything else you want to add here?
uh,
Any tips for young people?
I think any tip uh, for students who are in school right now, faced with the choice of deciding what to do in future, I would say it might be like a little not what I should be saying, but refrain from listening to your parents, because the perspective that they had in back in their time, if my parents listen to this, they're going to like, I'm going to be scolded for saying this, but do not listen to your parents. I mean, take into account their opinions, listen to and talk to a lot of people, but in the end, also listen to your heart and what you want to do.
Hmm.
So if even thinking about one decision makes gives you a bad gut feeling, don't go ahead with it. Think what you do is right, not what people from older generations think is right, or what your friends think is right. Don't get into peer pressure. What interests you, go ahead with that. And for people who have like recently joined their college, even 1 or 2 years younger than me, I would just suggest to explore as much as you can, because college is very different from school. That sense of certainty and protectiveness that you have in school vanishes when you're in college. So just like, again, go with your guts and try to explore as much as possible. What's the worst that can happen?
Okay. Let me speak on behalf of your parents. The thing is that India has changed so much. And in the old days, there were no choices really.
Yeah,
There
right.
weren't that many opportunities and there weren't that many choices. And I, of course, I also way back, what is it now, 60 years or more, faced this, maybe not 60, 55 years. The pressure to be in science was very strong, and pressure to be an engineer was very strong, though not in my family, but overall it was there. The school expected you, if you're a good student, to try for IIT and things like that. So the same pressures were there, but there were few opportunities, very few. but there were a few. So I could do easily economics at that time in Delhi University. So that was considered it's okay. Maybe it's not the best, but it's okay. But today, there are millions of opportunities for young people, and the older generation doesn't quite have that in their gut. Right? Their gut is still to take the well-trodden path, which sort of started around, I would say, 1960, become an engineer and do an MBA. That is from the 1960s and has worked well for so many people. So why not do it? Okay. So
Yeah.
question is why be risky? But today, I think the real risk is that you don't take risks. Then
Yes.
you are stuck. And others who are a little bit taking risk, they can get things that really motivate them and interest them. So indeed, I was one person older than even me. He asked me, Subodh, what is midlife crisis? I said, you can't get it, sir. It's beyond your times. There was no midlife crisis. You just took the same job and you just continued in it for the rest of your life. And that was it. That was life. That was the best way. But today, the options are so many. As an economist, your choice set, what you call budget set, what we call budget set, but what we should call as choice set. Your choice set has expanded so much that
True.
even your constrained choice is not the same as the old one. Even if your indifference curves, etc., are the same, your choice set hasn't changed. Right now, we are talking as economists.
Yeah.
Right? So the choice, once your choice set changes, you are bound to rethink it. Okay. And unfortunately, the society tends to be conservative and not recognize that, look, the choice set has changed. And if you don't take advantage of the new opportunities, then you are kind of going to get left behind a little bit. Okay, so that's speaking on behalf of your parents. They're right to be concerned about you and your welfare, and they're doing their best, but
Of course.
sometimes they are outdated. Okay, not they are. We are all outdated. We are an older generation. We are all outdated. The sooner we recognize it, the better off everybody will be. Okay, anything else you want to add? Final words?
Nothing. It's just thank you so much for having me here and
All right.
letting me speak.
All right. We'll have you maybe back in 1 year to see where you are and see what you are doing. Till then, let's say bye to the viewers. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye.